GameKO. Welcome back, coders, to another quick video. Wanted to get this one in front of you because, while it was still fresh in my mind, because we've been playing Outriders, the brand new looter shooter RPG multiplayer online extravaganza over by the guys at Square Enix. I gotta say, the reason why I'm making this video is because it surprised me. There are issues. Sure, the game is kind of trying to do a little bit of everything, but what I've found and what I'm super interested in and what keeps me coming back so far is just the diversity of gameplay so far. I played about 5 or 6 hours, wanted to just kind of give you my initial real raw impressions of what this game's like and show you some 4K 60 FPS footage running on the Xbox Series X, where it runs superbly. The reason why this is such a surprise to me is because when I first saw the footage from Outriders back, I don't even know, 2 years, E3 maybe, and they showed it off and they were like, yeah, this is our new IP, we're going to be showing a completely new environment and experience and a story, so much more story heavy than all these other looter shooters have, and we're going to be trying some very interesting and unique things. I thought about it and I was like, that's cool, but the footage that they showed, the gameplay that they showed, really reminded me of just like kind of a Gears of War clone. I'm like, Gears of War with some super abilities, like, that's cool, but how do you keep me? How does that loop work? How does the story unfold in a way that's actually interesting? Are these people one-dimensional, kind of like Gears? Well, at least until Gears 4 and 5. I really do think that this somehow has struck a very impressive balance between the gameplay feeling great, but not feeling completely revolutionary. Like, it feels good, it's got cool iterative concepts, the abilities harmonize well together, and at least the promise of multiplayer, because we'll get into that in a little bit, is there. The idea that synergizing with your teammates is super important is already obviously showing its head. Now, there are some classes that may be a little bit more powerful than others, maybe easier to solo with than others, but I gotta say, I have fallen a little bit in love with my character, who is a techromancer. All about those turrets, being able to place them specifically and strategically in the battlefield, makes my character's life a lot easier to solo with, and also when I can play with people online, it definitely makes their life easier as well. But the thing that really has stood out is that the story is worthwhile. So far, it's not groundbreaking. There's no characters that like shake you to your core. But every cutscene that plays, I tune in for. I'm interested in. I want to know where the lore takes me. I want to know what the side quests are. I want to know a little bit more about the world. Because, oh man, the world design is flooring me. Especially the moment you kind of get to that second major area. No spoilers, but you're going to see it on this footage for no story spoilers, but there are some questline spoilers that you're going to see on this footage. One specifically is like an arachnid boss, and it was incredible, completely shocking how well they handled the scale. Now, the fight wasn't anything insane, and you'll see, because I was the class that could handle it very easily with turrets and being able to kind of see self-heal, it wasn't hard to deal with, but the fight was cool. It was one of those moments where it was like, whoa, watershed moment. You first run into these cool little like creatures that are flying creatures, you're not expecting it. Second, then you get to this kind of lava-soaked area and you're like, whoa, some kind of gross-looking rock formations, and then you get down in there and you're fighting against this gigantic, like 30-foot tall arachnid, and I felt like I was in Godzilla, King of the Monsters. And I had a great time, and I really had fun. And that was just solo. The fact is that this game is fun solo, and it's just going to be better with friends. The few times I got a couple friends in there, a good friend of mine, Ninja Flip, over on PlayStation, me over on Xbox Series S, that was harmonizing perfectly. But ironically, my poor great friend and contributor to the channel, Silent Striker N7, he was stuck over on PC, not able to communicate with the rest of the crew. Now, this is where I'm going to get into a little bit of the negative feedback and kind of take this with a grain of salt, because I think this is one of those situations where, for me, it was kind of expected. I don't think they expected to be quite as popular as they have been. That Game Pass announcement honestly may have broken the game. I don't know how many concurrent players were on there, but I heard upwards of hundreds of thousands on both Steam and Xbox. Now, PS5 is probably pretty damn close to that, just in purchases. So when you think about the amount of people that they're hosting on the servers and logins they're trying to deal with, that's a lot. That's really difficult to handle. And ultimately, I think that is one of those areas where the game fell short on. It let my friend Silent Striker's expectations down a lot on that front. But I can say this, he still wants to play more. And I think he's completely right in doing so. Is he going to be frustrated about the experience? Of course. And Outriders, get to work on that as fast as you can. We also know that games are not perfect. Huge, big budgeted productions, especially massive looter shooters that have a myriad of systems that are working with each other, they're not going to be perfect right out the gate. It's an unfortunate reality of the scenario, but I think the only way to counter that would be to make them cookie cutter, and I don't want that. I'd rather have broken, unique, and fun, and interesting that gets fixed, i.e. Warframe, i.e. Destiny, i.e. a lot of different games, than ones that come out of the box polished to a fucking T, but they're a turd. You know what I mean? I don't want a fucking polished turd. I want something that is interesting and unique and can keep me engaged, keep me coming back for more, keep me telling my friends about it. This is a game that I'm going to want to recruit people to. I'm excited about it. I think there's a lot of potential. I will say, big caveat, this is super early on. I haven't experienced Endgame. Now, these games focus a lot on Endgame, but I'm going to enjoy the ride on this one. I think it's worthwhile. It's got a more engaging plot than Division. It's got interesting mechanics similar to Destiny and Warframe. And what I think is most cool is that the world seems to be coming together. It's not open world, but it's kind of got that almost Destiny meets Warframe-y vibe where it's like different areas. I think it kind of does it better than both in some aspects, though, because of the interconnectedness of them. Like, you go to an area, it has side quests, it has exploration, but it still feels small, bite-sized, and something that I could pop in and play a little bit with friends and still get a lot out of it. Well, those are my thoughts so far. Not super well formulated or anything. This is very early, but I do think this is worth a pickup. If you have an Xbox, it's a no fucking brainer. Pick it up on Game Pass. If you haven't already, you're missing out. Well, caveat. Maybe wait a week. Get the server issues figured out. Then 100% do not miss this on Game Pass. As long as it's there, it's going to be worth it. It's one of those games that, like, if it took it off Game Pass in 2 months, 3 months, I'd buy it. I think I'm at that point already, only 5 hours in. So we'll see how this all goes. I'll try to give you updated impressions if you want them. Make sure to comment in the video below what you think is most interesting about the game, or what some of your early thoughts are as well if you're playing it. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Please hit that bell for notifications and subscribe. It really means a lot. We're so close to 1,000 subscribers, and this could push us over the top. If that does so, we'll do a 24-hour stream. You won't want to miss that. It'll be really funny. Watch us slowly slip into insanity. But otherwise, thank you again, and as always, stay classy, coders.